Hello, welcome back to Roleplay. My name is Beast, and today we're back with more my Klutzy Cupid. I'm dying because I had because I had the usual Asian food from the usual Asian place today, and that always could just completely fucks me up because I end up eating too much. Oh, that did help a bit. But oh well, let's just get into it. I think, honestly, I think I'm gonna keep my parts shorter for this. Like, this game is already short anyways. So it's not like, so it's not like the volume of content percentage of the game that you'll get is less. And then also I just still got time for myself at that point. At least that was the case for the last week, considering all the interviews. Oh well. Also, I got like another thing next Monday. It's not an interview, it's at 1. And it's literally just, yes, walk around the fucking production of the place that I went to yesterday for the interview. And just have a look around. But yeah, anyways. None of that matters. As luck would have it, Golden Week started right after Rinka and I began our relationship. This year we had 5 consecutive days off. So even though we'd only just started dating, I thought for sure I'd be able to spend a ton of time with her during the holidays. However, when I asked about her schedule for Golden Week, Rinka said she'd be busy with her short-term intensive crash course at cram school. What's more, she had to keep up with her streams in the evenings as well. As it turns out, the only real communication we had since we left the hotel together were the short conversations we had on Rhyme. I was dying to see her in person, even if just for a moment, but due to my part-time jobs, our schedules didn't really line up. And though we were both free late at night, we couldn't exactly visit each other's houses. And so, my lonely Golden Week was spent rereading our rhyme chats and watching Conan's streams. I mean, I love watching Conan's streams anyway, but still, when she was streaming, she was interacting with all her viewers. I, on the other end, wanted her out of myself. I wanted Rinka's cuteness to be mine and mine alone. As I thought Rinka and Karen's world, as thoughts of Rinka and Karen's world together in my head, the final day of Golden Week arrived far too soon. Just as I was thinking about school the next day, however, I suddenly received a message from Rinka. Sure, I'll log in first to make party. Quickly replying, I immediately put on my VR goggles and logged into the game. After a couple of minutes of waiting in the lobby, Rinka soon appeared. That's okay. Though I said that to be polite, the truth was I'd been desperate to see her. Oh, she's just as cute as the last time I saw her. Obviously, I was only seeing Rinka's in-game character at the moment, but that didn't stop her cuteness from oozing through every one of her gestures and mannerisms. Not to mention the skippiness of character's clothing. Seeing her dressed like this, my heart began to pound as I remembered the things we did at the hotel last week. Listen, Rinka. Can I hug you? Okay, it's still wholesome. It's still wholesome. Though sounding a little puzzled, she gave me permission to hug her, so I did. Oh, that's better. Yeah, I did. I couldn't stop thinking about you the entire week. Nah, even before we started dating, I knew how busy of a person you were. I'm just happy you made time to spend with me today. I know. It's that diligent and responsible personality of yours that I fell in love with in the first place. What a coincidence, I've been feeling that way this whole time. I'm just gonna naturally assume that this isn't like, ah yes, VR goggle and then we stand in the room and do the thing with the controllers. Nah, this is probably like full dive bullshit. No need to worry about that. There's a private lobby so only you and I can join. It's not password protected, but only players with the designated ID are allowed in, so whatever we do in here, it'll be impossible for anyone else to see. Ale. With a shy expression, Rinka looked up at me and said, hold on, I need to edit the length of this again. There we go. Before I could even respond, she began to fumble with my pants, and in one smooth motion pushed me down onto the ground. Already? Also, that you could just do that in the game? I mean, it's not that absurd. Like, one of the most popular, like, full dive VR MMO anime out there, Sword Art Online, has sex scenes in the light novel as well. Like, I'm pretty sure the like years of semen flowing into Asuna was not just a meme. Like, I think that actually is written in there or something, if I remember correctly. Not that I have a fucking Reddit because I say, oh, sucks. Anyway, see it after the H scene. You know, I would really love to, like... I'm back for a little bit. I would really love to actually show this CG off a bit. Mainly because you can actually see the MC's avatar. I guess I can push this out of the way a little bit. Now this is the MC's code apparently. I'm gonna like not show anything else though, because there's not on the face. See you after the rest of the H scene. They did the fucketh. And they're done with it now. Anyway, well, Golden Week finally over. It was once again time to go back to school. Every year I always wished the holidays would last a little longer. Now that I started going out with Rinka, things were different. Being unable to meet her this past week had made this year's Golden Week an utter hell. But today I couldn't wait to be able to see her at last. The moment I entered the classroom, I immediately spotted Rinka. She was seated at her desk, studying as usual. Oh, she was gorgeous today too. Even now, I still couldn't believe I had such a stunning beauty for a girlfriend. As I made my way toward the desk, Rinna looked up from her notebook, apparently sensing my presence. Ohayo. I mean, this is thus far the only CG, so if nothing else shows up, I will have to use this. She averted her eyes shyly, but greeted me nonetheless. Yeah, morning. Feeling my heart pound, I greeted her back. Flustered, we simply stared at each other silently. Feeling embarrassed and wary of our classmates around us, I found myself at a loss for words. I think I seemed to be undergoing the same struggle, even though we had our trouble making even though we had no trouble messaging each other on Rhyme every day. Suddenly, however, Master entered the classroom. Spotting us, he came running cheerfully in our direction. We can still beat the memory out of him. However, I will beat more than the memory out of him if this causes another I remember the fucking H scene CG to pop up. I kicked the ball accidentally. Pulling up this please. How'd you know that?
僕のアカウント、フレンドがログインすると通知が来るように設定してあるんだよ。それで僕も混ぜてもらおうと思ってログインしたんだけど、昨日はロックがかかった日で。
We're going at it alone together. Phrasing. Time to kill him. That's the wrong end. Time to kill him. Like this part, this can't do shit. This is like fucking flimsy as shit. This can't do any damage. This here can actually cave in a skull.
邪魔したら悪いと思ってライムしたりはしなかったんだけど、いつの間に2人だけで遊ぶような関係になったの？
Yes! Clearly duo queuing. A smug grin spread across Masura's face. Faced with Masura's teasing, Rinka turned to stare wordlessly at me. Don't look at me. How was I supposed to know he'd see us online and even try to enter our lobby?
もしかして今も2人で楽しくお話ししているところだった？お邪魔しちゃってごめん。それじゃあ僕は退散するね。
Masura gave us a cheerful wave before going over to sit at his desk. After he left, an awkward silence settled between me and Rinka. I love that expression. Just how far did Masura's suspicion about our relationship go? I think he had no idea what we'd been up to behind our lobby's closed doors, but I'd probably die of embarrassment, so I decided against asking him directly about it.
Sakuma-kun, chime. 鳴ったわよ。
Right. Ultimately, I ended up returning to my seat without saying much to Rinka. We were supposed to be keeping our relationship a secret anyway, so I suppose it was best we didn't talk alone together in class too much. Still not able to suppress the urge to spend time with Rinka. I pulled up my phone and sent her a message on Rhyme. Want to have lunch together on the roof later? At lunchtime, Rinka and I made our way to the school rooftop together.
昨日のこと、お狐さんに勘ぐられているみたいね。
Rinka spoke first, sounding a little troubled.
私たちのこと、バレちゃったらどうしよう。
Masura isn't the type to gossip, so even if he knows it's not even if he knows it's not a big what? So even if he knows it's not a big deal. And if they've missed a fucking period there, not period, comma there. He hasn't told anybody about you being caught in after all.
そうかもしれないけど。
More importantly, we finally have some alone time together. Is it alright if I kiss you?
こんなところで？
Yeah, I can't hold myself back anymore.
でも誰かに見られちゃうかも。
It'll be a short one. No one's gonna see.
仕方ないわね。
Though embarrassed, she nodded her head, and so I immediately grabbed her shoulders. Then I placed my lips against hers. Hi, Aight. She let out an excited gasp. Although I was only planning to give her a quick peck, her lips felt so good I couldn't help myself. Despite what I had said, we ended up sharing a long, deep kiss. Eventually, however, Rinka placed her hands on my chest and pushed us apart.
つむぐ、長いわよ。本当に誰かに見られたらどうするの？
She grumbled, looking a little flushed. Even when she's mad, she was cute. Sorry, it just felt too good I got carried away.
それは私もだけど。もう。
She blushed, puffing out her cheeks. Apparently she wasn't as angry as she wanted me to believe. It was at that moment, however, the door to the rooftop suddenly opened, and out came Isuzu and Uta. Isuzu! Uta! What are you doing here?
たまたま2人が一緒に歩いているのを見ちゃって、珍しいなと思ってこっそり後をつけてきたんだけど。
Oh boy. Oh boy. Isuzu mumbled awkwardly, throwing a look towards Uta. Uta's about to fucking throw down! Uta, at the other hand, was staring straight at me.
兄さん、今そちらの方とキスをしていませんでしたか？
Yeah! I think Uta of all people had been the one to see us.
何のことかしら？
Rinka tried her best to play dumb, but she was shaking so much that her voice cracked. Sorry, Rinka, I was careless. But they already caught us kissing, so there's no point trying to hide it anymore.
それはそうかもしれないけど。
Rinka and I are dating.
やっぱり私の見間違いじゃなかったんですね。
Uta's shoulders slumped, sounding as though the end of the world had come. Nope, you saw correctly. Rinka and I were kissing since we thought nobody else was around. That's just supposed to be a quick one, but it felt so good that we...
そんな話詳しく聞きたくないです。もう兄さんなんて知りません。まあまあ、ウタちゃん、恋仲になったっていうのはおめでたいことなんだから、二人を困らせちゃダメだよ。でも
Despite Izuzu's attempts to pacify her, Uta continued to pout. I suppose I don't blame her for being upset at suddenly seeing her brother making out with someone else, though.
佐久間くん、もう学園内でキスするの禁止ね。
Rinka said in a prickly tone, blushing red. I mean, here's the thing. The only reason why they saw you do it was because you, like, sat on this bench and decided to kiss. If you, like, even just sat in one of the benches back there, they probably wouldn't have seen you. Because the door opens this way, they'd have to, like, walk around the fucking corner first. Hell, even if, like... I can't show right now because she's standing in the way.
ここまで戻って、はい、戻ってくるでよ。
Like, even if you just stood next to the ladder and were kissing there, you would have still been within earshot of hearing the door open, so you wouldn't have been ambushed. So it's entirely your fault.
佐久間くん、
Rinka said in
もう
blushing red.
学園内
Aww.
でキスするの禁止ね。
Later that day after school, having made Izuzu and Uto's promise to not tell anyone, I went to my part-time job at the restaurant. But even as I worked, I couldn't stop myself from grinning. The memory of kissing Rinka on the roof kept playing over and over in my head. I'm panicky that another memory is also going to show up. Despite how reluctant she acted, she always turned to putty whenever we locked lips. It was adorable. Although Izuzu and Uta had walked in on us, that didn't change how amazing the kiss had been. Getting all hot and bothered just thinking about it. I can't wait to kiss her again.
紡ぐ幸せそうだね。
Masura was working with the same shift today, smiled wryly at the grin on my
ひ
face.
ょっとして西条さんのことを考えているの？
No, it's not.
隠さなくてもいいじゃん。紡ぐが嬉しそうだと僕も幸せな気持ちになるからさ。
Masura. Seeing Masura smile, I couldn't help but feel a little guilty about the way I was treated in one of my best friends. He kept his mouth shut about Karen's secret, so even if he did know about his relationship with Rinka, I had no reason to suspect he'd tell anyone. I should have trusted him from the start. Fine, I'll be completely honest with you. It's a long story, but I promise me we'll keep this a secret. But me and Rinka are going out now.
本当？おめでとう。
A white smile spread across his face as he congratulated me.
二人はお似合いだと思っていたからすっごく嬉しい
Shut the fuck up! Thanks. I'm sorry for not telling you
よ。
soon.
二人の関係を公にできない事情があるんだよね。僕の方こそ冷やかすようなことを言っちゃってごめん。怒ってる？
Don't worry about it. I'm not mad.
よかった。西条さんとお幸せにね。あ、そうだ。二人が付き合っているなら紡ぐに渡しておこうかな。次いつ西条さんとサウザンドガンズをやるかわからないし。
What are you talking about?
実は西条さんにちょっとしたプレゼントがあるんだよね。
Presents.
そう頑張って作ったからぜひ使ってほしいんだよね。紡ぐそのうちまた西条さんと二人きりでサウザンドガンズをやったりするでしょ。次にネット上で会った時に渡しておいてよ。
It's gonna be a costume or something. Something tells me that I'm gonna have to use this one on him because of the costume. Oh yeah, so it's like someone from Scott's server took one of this, took a fucking screenshot during the co-host recording from like 2 days ago, where I was standing like this, ready to essentially like ready to fucking strike, and he just edited a fucking rocket launcher in instead. I was fucking confused when I saw that. Like I don't remember having that prop. After work. When I got home, I immediately messaged Rinka and asked her to meet me in an in-game lobby again today. As I imagined her using the gift I'd gotten for Muscle, I couldn't stop a smile from forming on my face.
何よ その不敵な笑みは
I get this. At work earlier, Masura gave me not one but two presents. Here's the first one. Opening my inventory, I showed her the item he'd given me. The item in question was called Cotton's Avatar Set. Apparently, equipping it allowed the wearer to transform into Cotton. And when Rinka saw what it was, her face immediately lit up and she gasped in delight.
すごいこれおきつねさんが作ったの
So he says, why don't you put it on?
私が使っていいの
Of course, it's not like I'm gonna wear it.
てっきり紡もカリンになってみたいのかと
I've always been a fan of Cotton because of what's on the inside, not the outside. I've never wanted to be her. Anyway, come on, try it.
わかったわ
Once I traded her the Cotton-chan avatar set, she quickly clicked equip item. After about 5 seconds of loading, Rinka's appearance transformed into that of Cotton's.
どうかしら
Whoa, it's Cotton in the flesh! In my excitement, I scrambled to use the other present that Masura had given me. The item was called Tsumugu's Room, and it allowed me to alter surrounding scenery into looking like my bedroom instead. Why does he know what that looks like? To such a detailed degree. I never knew Masura had the talent to make things like this, but even so, creating a mod like this had to take some serious know-how. The moment I activated it, the virtual reality we were in promptly transformed into the very room I was standing in. Oh! This is crazy. Cotton's really in my room. I never control myself and pulled her into a tight hug.
ちょっとこれが目的だったわけ
Sorry. But I've always wanted to try doing this with Karen too.
仕方ないわね
She grumbled, though not sounding as crass as she wanted me to believe. It was a 7 to say the least.
ちなみに私はこの姿の間リンカとして振る舞えばいいのそれともカリンとして振る舞った方がいいの
I'd appreciate if you could act like Cotton, pretty please.
わかったわイエーイみんなのカリンちゃんだよ今日はいつも配信を見てくれているツグの部屋に来ています
Granted my request, Rinka quickly switched into Cotton mode. This is cringe. I want to beat the MC with this stick. I don't know why I can't leave it alone today. Don't fall off. The gap between the usual calm self and her sudden idol-like behavior really got me going.
へえツグの部屋ってこんな感じなんだね男の子の部屋に入るのって初めてだから緊張しちゃうよ
She looked around the place with keen interest. Thanks for coming, Cotton. Make yourself at home. For starters, is it alright if it takes some pictures of you to commemorate the occasion?
もちろんいいよカリンちゃんはフリー素材だから自由に撮影して好きに使ってね
On top of giving me her permission, she also struck her signature pose for me. I smashed my screenshot button. Like, this man's just like fucking... It dawned on me again that Cotton was actually in my room. Thanks, Cotton. I'll keep these screenshots for the rest of my life. Obviously, I'm going to use it. I'm going to be using it as my phone wallpaper, but also I'm thinking of printing it on a t-shirt.
大げさだよでもすぐに喜んでもらえてカリンちゃんも嬉しいよ
So cute! Cotton, I'm sorry, but I can't hold back anymore. Oh, boy. Please let me have sex with you today. Hearing this, Cotton took a step back with embarrassment.
セクハラはやめてよカリンちゃんはみんなのアイドルなんだよエッチなことは絶対 NG です
Huh? But aren't you my girlfriend?
何を言っているのすぐの彼女はリンカでしょ
She gets so into the role that she damn near like separates the two.
カリンちゃんの恋人は配信を見てくれているフォロワーのみんなだよ
Let's see, so that's the sort of roleplay we're doing. Incidentally, we're pretending that this whole situation is being streamed, right?
視聴者さんのお部屋に遊びに来たところを生配信しているの。
Watch what you're going to say, or I'm going to walk out this door. Oh, really? So in other words, all your fans around the world are watching this right now.
そうだよ。だから変なことをするのは禁止。
Okay, I can 100% see where this is going, especially with with that look on her face, because that is not you better not look. That look is I fucking dare you to. So, what do you think your viewers would what do you think your viewers would react if they saw me ravishing you on stream? Karin-chan. Like, my lips, I cornered her against the wall.
やだ。こっちに来ないで。
Do I have to read this out? Also, his name changed to Tsugu as well. There's no use screaming for help. My house is deep in the mountains. My closest neighbor is over 5 kilometers away.
なんでそんな辺境の地に住んでいるの？
I wish I could lure you here and have my way with you. No, you know my do. Pausing at Rika like an animal, playing the kiss on her lips. That's just kisses for now. This is fucking weird.
かりんちゃんはみんなのものなのに。
If you don't listen to what I say, you're gonna end up in a lot worse trouble. I'm gonna fucking.
お母さん。
That had a genuinely scare-sounding whimper. I think his acting was so good that it felt like I really was sexually harassing her. Yeah, maybe you should fucking stop then. I'm gonna fucking beat the shit out of you. I wasn't expecting that when I said she had I wasn't exaggerating when I said she had the makings of a professional actress. But while it might have been only an act, this whole scenario of having my way with everyone's beloved virtual idol was making me incredibly excited. Good. Now then, where should we begin? Alright, I've decided. First, I'm gonna have you masturbate in front of the camera.
そんなの嫌だよ。みんな見てるのにお嫁に行けなくなっちゃうよ。
That's right, I want everyone to see you throwing away your chastity. Here, I'll show you something to help you get started. I'm equipping all the items in my lower body. I exposed my cack. Okay, at this point we can just skip. Bye. See you after the age scene, which I hope ends fast. They've done do the diddly.
しかもかりんの姿で。
After we'd finished, Rinka seemed to be coming back to her senses somewhat and murmured to herself. Yeah, she's just done acting like Karin for
かり
now.
んは天真爛漫で清純な女の子だから、なんだか怪我しちゃった気分だわ。
That was super hot though. It almost felt like I was banging you and Karin at the same time.
バカ！変態！
She nearly shouted, pointing the muzzle of her gun at me. Then she pulled the trigger without hesitation. The bullet hit me square in the stomach, taking out half my HP bar.
ごめんなさい。思わず撃っちゃった。
That's fucking scary! I never thought I'd get shot for making a joke. Thank God this wasn't real life.
でも悪いのはツグなんだからね。
Now you're just pointing fingers.
だって私がカリンになった瞬間に抱きついてきたんだし。あ、ちょっと待って。元はといえばソラさんがカリンちゃんアバターセットなんていうすごいアイテムを作ったことが原因なのよね。実はソラさんが一番の変態なのかしら。
Nah, I'm sure she had no idea the costume he made for you would be used like this. Even when he found out the two of us were in a private lobby yesterday, he just assumed we were playing together.
それはそうよね。サウザンドガンズの世界でこんなことをするなんて普通は考えないでしょうし。
In that sense, that kind of makes you the biggest pervert here for coming up with the idea in the first place.
ちょっと変なことを言わないでよ。
She pointed a gun at me and pulled the trigger again. The bullet struck me dead center of the chest, reducing my HP to 0. I collapsed onto the ground, looking up at Karan from below. Are you serious right now? You're the one who shot me. Well, at least now I know never to hand Rinka an actual gun. It's a good thing we live in Japan.
俺のキューピッドがポンコツすぎて怖い。
Like, I'm pretty sure like the English title of this game is like something like My Cupid is fucking scary. It's scary how clumsy my Cupid is, or some bullshit like that. Hey, you wanna know what's fucking scary? Rinka with a gun, that's what's scary! The day of our lovemaking session, and the day after our lovemaking session in the virtual world, Rinka told me she had a special favor to ask, and so I brought her to my house after school.
すごい。紡の部屋、VR 空間に再現されてたのとほとんど同じね。
Also, does God an eye for detail after all. Rinka looked around my room with great interest.
もしも散らかっていたら私が片付けてあげようと思っていたんだけど、ちゃんと綺麗にしているのね。
Yeah, I'm a bit of a neat freak. Though, truth be told, it mostly just kept things clean. I mostly just kept things clean for Aile's sake. As if sensing something guilty in my expression, however, Rinka suddenly fired a question at me.
やっぱりベッドの下にエッチな本や DVD があったりするの？
Don't be silly, I don't have any of those.
探してみてもいい？
Be my guest, you're wasting your time though.
もう紡が慌てなくてつまんない。
She puffed up her cheeks, looking annoyed. I had a feeling she'd say something like that, so maybe I should have actually planted some DVDs under my bed for her to find. But who even buys physical porn in this day and age? Honestly, I'd be panicking a lot more if she wanted to see my internet search history. Well, anyways, what's the special favor you wanted to ask me?
そうさ。
If this is another H scene, I'm going to fucking beat someone.
実はね、このゴールデンウィーク中に事務所と契約して役者活動を正式にスタートすることになったの。それで早速連続ドラマにちょい役で出ることになったのよ。
Huh, really?
そんなに驚くほどのことじゃないわよ。セリフもないし。
Even so, to an average person like me, it's still pretty amazing. Are you sure about this though? If you're gonna appear on TV, there's a chance your parents might find out.
それは大丈夫よ。私の両親、テレビ番組をバカにしたりして自分たちが見ることは絶対にないから。
Damn, her parents sound worse by the second. See, well, that's convenient. What's this role you're gonna be playing anyway?
通り魔に殺されて公園で発見された女性の死体。
Huh. I see that all the time in detective dramas. Might even say it's the most important role in a murder mystery.
そんなことはないと思うけど。
That's true. Viewers tend to feel a lot more enmity towards the killer if their victims are attractive, right? I think it makes you perfect for the part.
そうなのかしら。もっとも死体役はただ動かなければいいだけだから、最初の仕事としてはちょうどいいと思っているんだけど。
It's not as simple as it sounds, you know. Like to say acting begins with a corpse and ends with a corpse.
絶対嘘でしょ。
Okay, I lied.
無理に私を励まそうとしなくていいから。
Nika smiled wryly before continuing.
実はね、事務所の人からはセリフがある役のオーディションを受けてみたらどうかって言われているの。
They did? What's the role?
朝のジョギング中に土手で死体を発見して第一発見者として事情を聞かれる女性。
Doesn't your agency have any other roles to offer besides detective dramas?
まずは難易度が低い役をやらせて私に現場の雰囲気を理解させようとしてるんだと思う。どっちの役も主役の演技をすぐ近くで見られるんだし。
Yes, that makes sense.
あとね、青春もののオーディションも受けてみたらどうかって言われているの。役柄は主人公を陰湿にいじめる意地悪な女子生徒 A。
Complete opposite of your usual self, huh?
そうなのよね。うまくやれるかちょっと不安で。というわけで演技の練習に付き合ってもらえないかしら。私の演技を見て率直な感想を聞かせてほしいの。
MC just stands there like, ah, yes, berate me. Sure thing, we can do it right now. First, show me your best dead body impression.
死体の練習は別にしなくていいんじゃない？
That's not true at all. Like they say, acting begins with a corpse and ends with a corpse.
それはもういいから。
How is the body supposed to be found anyway?
公園の木に背をもたれさせて草むらの中で死んでいるって設定。
Alright then, lean your back against the wall and play dead. I'll be the detective who arrives on scene.
わかったわ。
Looking a little perplexed, Rinka lowered herself down and laid still, as the detective, slowly approached her body. So this is what happened. Young woman this time too. What a damn shame. Putting on a gruff tone, I squatted down in front of Rinka and squeezed her boobs. She let out a lewd squeal and glared at me.
ちょっと、いきなり何をするのよ。
I was testing to see how dead you really were. A real corpse isn't going to move when someone touches it, you know.
刑事ドラマに被害者の胸を揉むシーンはないと思うんだけど。
Touché. Oh wait, actually I might be. Have you read over the whole script?
そんなの確認するまでもないから。
Rinka replied coldly.
ちなみに、募集されている死体役にはいろいろなバリエーションがあるみたい。中にはシャワーを浴びている最中に殺される女子大生。もちろん私は断ったんだけど、役者さんは裸でシャワーを浴びている姿を撮影スタッフに見られちゃうから大変よね。
Kind of jealous, actually. Maybe I should work as cameraman in the future.
たとえお芝居でも女の子のシャワーシーンを撮りたいと思うものなの？
Of course, it's every man's dream.
そうなの？じゃあ私もどこかの撮影スタッフの夢を叶えるためにシャワーシーンをやろうかしら。
Absolutely not!
うん。紡はそう言うと思った。
Rinka said, grinning.
もっともシャワーシーンをする場合、役者さんは前張りをつけることになると思うけど。
What a piece to use.
肌色のテープのことよ。裸になるシーンを撮影するときに乳首や性器とかに貼り付けて見られても大丈夫なよう
I
に
mean,
す
they're
るの。
still exposing essentially everything, so how much does it fucking change? I had no idea.
最も前張りをつけるのは必要最低限の面積だから、そこ以外は全部見られちゃうんだけどね。
Then never mind, I don't even like the idea of you wearing swimsuits for work if you can help it.
へえ。紡って意外と独占欲が強いのね。
And out there are many guys out there who'd be okay with their girlfriend being virtually naked in front of other people. I mean, you wouldn't like the idea of me being naked in front of other girls either, would you?
確かに。それじゃヌードと水着は今後オファーが来たとしても断るわね。
I'd appreciate that. That said, if it ends up harming your career as an actress because you won't do those kinds of roles, I'll try my best to endure it, but,
大丈夫。紡に嫌な思いをさせてまで役者を続けたいとは思っていないから。
Let's see. I never imagined Link would be disconsiderate of my feelings. Maybe incredibly happy.
それじゃあ演技練習を再開するわね。次は主人公を陰湿にいじめる意地悪な女子生徒 A をやるから、紬は主人公の美少年をやってくれる？
Nah, shit, I can't handle that kind of role. Because, you know, I'm not exactly young or handsome. Like, the adjectives of that fit me more is the young part, but even that is questionable at this point, considering, you know, let's just put it like this. I'm just 1 year younger than the MC from Kuro no Kiseki, and he's constantly being called old man. and he looks younger than me. Leave it to me, I'll be the handsomest young man you've ever seen. What are my lines?
オーディション用の台本はまだもらってないからアドリブでやりましょう。ここは朝の教室で、私と紬は同級生。紬はか弱い男の子で、意地悪な私がちょっかいを出すって感じで。
So we're just gonna improvise, got it.
それじゃあ演技スタート。
I have a feeling that Uta's gonna walk in on this and going to vastly misunderstand.
よー紬、
The moment we began, the Rinka's entire demeanor completely changed as she started speaking and gesturing like some kind of delinquent. For that single line she spoke just now, she immediately gave off the impression of some bored ne'er-do-well looking for someone to push around. I'd almost think she'd been possessed by the spirit of an actual delinquent. At the start yesterday when we were having sex, but Rinka really was an incredible actress. Morning, Rinka.
Rinka? だ？お前、私のことを呼び捨てにするなんて偉くなったもんだな。
Sorry.
謝っても許さない。脱げ。
Huh?
お仕置きしてやるって言ってるんだよ。ほら、早くズボンを脱げ。
But we're in class right now and everyone's watching.
安心しろ。私がやることを教師にチクるようなバカはこのクラスにはいねえよ。ほら、脱げ。それとも、私が脱がせてやろうか？
Rinka said aggressively, reaching towards my belt. Wait, Rinka!
だから呼び捨てにしてんじゃねえよ。いつもみたいにリンカ様って呼べや。
I'm sorry, Rinka-sama. Fucking... This is the H scene specifically made for Bud, I think. I am kidding, of course. Like, he isn't, of course, probably isn't into this much. With Rinka completely immersed in a role, I could do little to resist as she overpowered me. Seeing me surrender, Rinka happily takes off my pants. What's more, she even pulled down my underwear.
結構大きいじゃねえか。
Like some sort of scoundrel, she chuckled wickedly as she stared at my crotch.
紡ぐって肝が小さいのにこっちは大きいんだな。
Thanks?
ちょっと触らせろよ。
Oh boy.
柔らかい。なんか膨らんできた
Yeah,
な。
I'm thinking we can skip this. Okay, they're like done with the acting performance. Yet the 8th scene hasn't even started. She asked hesitantly. Though when Rinka had stopped acting, I was surprised at how quickly the delinquent aura around her had vanished without a trace. To be honest, I was a little skeptical that you could pull off such a mean character at first, but you knocked it out of the park.
そう紡にそう言ってもらえると嬉しい。
That said, it felt like you were leaning more toward molester rather than delinquent.
それはさっきいきなり胸を揉まれたことに対する仕返しよ。つまり紡の自業自得。実際のオーディションでやるのは教科書を破くとか机に落書きするとかそういう感じのキャラクターだから。
That sounds more like it. I doubt they'd allow some that explicit to be shown on TV these days anyway. But I gotta say, performance just now makes me curious about what other roles you can play.
もっと私の演技が見たいってこと？
Yeah.
いいけど、それなら何かリクエストをもらえる？
How about the newlywed wife who comes to greet me at the door after a long day of work?
紡の趣味が反映されまくった設定ね。でも全然いいわよ。それじゃ演技スタート。
Home.
旦那様、お帰りなさい。
Oh, I'm exhausted, but boss was being a huge pain in the ass again today.
大丈夫？おっぱい揉む？
Absolutely. Pounced on Rinka and immediately took her up on her offer. Jesus Christ, that was fucking fast.
旦那様、私のおっぱいの揉み心地はどう？
You gotta also like note how a lot of the times she's the one that like initiates it. Like he did not introduce a singular sexual element into this role yet. Yet she's just set over here like, oh, you had a hard time at work. Wanna cop a feel? Like, what the fuck? They're very incredible. I can already feel myself recovering the MP my boss drained from me.
よかった。私のおっぱいは旦那様だけのものだから好きなだけ触っていいのよ。
I have the best wife ever.
ところで、おっぱいの次はご飯にする？お風呂にする？それともこのままベッドに行く？
I want all three in that order. I want you to feed me dinner, then wash me in the bed, then head to the bedroom.
旦那様は甘えん坊さんね。
Despite my excessive demands, Rinka smiled gently at me. On second thought, you're too cute, Rinka. This is no time to be eating dinner. Can't wait any longer. Change of plans. We're heading to the bedroom first.
いいわよ。でもね、今日はお願いがあるの。
I think I have an idea what said favor is going to be.
私。
Yep, call it. Like, I know this she's playing a role, but you know damn well there's going to cause some reaction. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put the Beretta away. Okay, it is getting out of hand. At this rate, there was a high chance that Rinka really was going to end up pregnant, so I had to stop before things went too far. All flattery aside, I honestly think you have an incredible talent for acting. I genuinely felt like an overworked salaryman getting harassed by his boss for a moment there.
それは紡の思い込みが激しすぎるだけな気もするけど、演技を褒められるのは嬉しいわ。オーディション用の台本がもらえたら、また演技練習に付き合ってくれる？
You bet, just let me know. In fact, I was already secretly thinking of another lewd scenario for her to practice acting with. So that wasn't actually an H scene? What the fuck was any of that? This wasn't H scene, but did they just cut out the scene? Because you could bet your ass a scene like that is going to end up in the fucking final cut for Steam. At lunch a few days after I invited Rinka to my house to practice her acting, I made my way to the rooftop, empty-handed but full of anticipation. After yesterday's afternoon, Rinka had sent me a certain message. After reading her text, I immediately replied, okay. I purposely decided not to ask why. I highly doubted she just wanted me to starve after all. After I'd arrived on the roof, Rinka appeared soon after, carrying a large bundle. The moment our eyes met, Rinka blurted out shyly. Sitting down beside me, she unwrapped a bundle to reveal 2 lunchboxes. She then opened the lid, showing me hamburgers, steaks, and rolled omelets inside. Ooh, looks delicious. I love hamburger steak and rolled omelets. Mind if I dig in? Rinka nervously handed me a pair of chopsticks. She watched me intently as I picked up a piece of hamburger and brought it to my mouth. Tastes great. She let out a sigh of relief. Are you that worried I wouldn't like it? Your parents are as strict as always.
だから両親にバレないように作る必要があって大変だったのよ。まさか彼氏のために作ってますなんて言えないしね。
I go through all this trouble then. It would be bad if your parents were to suspect something.
だって彼女っぽいことをやってみたかったんだもん。
You've already done plenty of that, haven't you? Both of that love hotel and in the virtual world too.
そういうことじゃなくて。
Sorry, just a joke. Really am happy to be able to eat your homemade cooking now. You know, realistically, in reality, they've only had sex once. Almost feel like putting this into a glass case and displaying it in my room.
飾られるのは困るから絶対にダメだけど、喜んでもらえてよかったわ。もっとも親の目を盗んで作るのは大変だから、次はいつ作れるかわからないけど。
I see. Well, I'll just have to savor this all the more then. And so the two of us began eating lunch together. This was bliss. By the way, how's the acting gig coming along?
実はね、今度の週末にオーディションを受けることが決まったの。
Really?
さらにその翌日には初めてのドラマ撮影。前にも言った死体役だからセリフはないんだけどね。
Still, that's great. Break a leg.
ありがとう。今からすごく緊張しているわ。
That just shows how serious you are about it. You're amazing, Rinka. You're already making great progress towards your dream. You're hopping from one challenge to the next, doing all sorts of things I couldn't even do if I tried.
そんなことないわよ。紡も私にできないことをたくさんやっていると思うわ。例えば、私はこれまで自分でお金を稼いだことはないけど、紡はバイトで生活費を稼いでいるでしょ。
I guess that's true.
ちなみに、紡ってファミレスのフェアリーテイルでバイトしているのよね。今度見に行ってもいい？
You're more than welcome to, but I can't really talk with you while I'm on the job, you know.
もちろんいいわよ。紡の働いている姿を見に行くわけだし。
I think it'd be very interesting, but if that's what you want.
次はいつシフトに入っているの？
I have one this evening, actually.
じゃあ今日の夕食はフェアリーテイルで食べることにするわね。
Thus, it was suddenly decided that Rinka would be visiting my workplace for a little tour. That evening, as I was working, I casually dressed Rinka at the restaurant. Since she came all this way, I made it a point to serve her myself. Welcome to Fairy Tale, table for one.
ええ、そうよ。一人で食事するのは寂しいから、できればあなたのことを指名したいんだけど。
I'm afraid this isn't a host club, ma'am.
知っているわ。冗談よ。
She giggled, sticking out her
紡
tongue.
ファミレスの制服似合ってるね。かっこいいわよ。
Thanks. To be honest, I'd love to sit down and eat with you too.
ダメよ。ちゃんと仕事をしなさい。
Weren't you the one who just asked me to join you? Got the feeling Kino would get angry at me if she saw me chatting with Rinka at the entrance like this, so I quickly showed her to a seat by the window and handed her the menu. Give me a call when you've decided what you'd like to order.
チーズインハンバーグセットを一つ。ソースはデミグラス。付け合わせはパンとコーンスープで。
Oh, did you already memorize that menu or something? I've never seen someone order so perfectly.
注文に完璧なんてあるの？
Customers usually have some trouble deciding what sauce they want on their steak or forget that their set meal comes with rice and bread.
そう。店員さんって大変なのね。私は人生の時間を1秒たりとも無駄にしないよう、メニューを見た瞬間に自分が何を食べたいか決められるよう、親に訓練されているから。
You know, the more I hear about you, the crazier your upbringing seems to me.
食事って1日に最低でも3回はするわけで、その度に何を食べるか悩んでいたらものすごい時間の浪費になるでしょ。ただでさえ人生は小さい決定を繰り返すわけだから、どうでもいいことはスパッと決めていかないとね。
Yes, that makes sense. Alright, I've got your order. It'll be ready soon, so just sit tight.
はーい。
Leaving the strangely amused looking Rinka behind, I went back to work. Not a moment too soon, as the dinner rush was just entering full swing. A little while later, I came out of the kitchen carrying a cheese-filled hamburger steak set and locked eyes with Rinka, who was looking curiously in my direction. Thanks for waiting. Here's your cheese-filled hamburger steak set.
ありがとう。美味しそうね。
Sorry, I can't really sit around and chat.
私のことは気にしなくて大丈夫よ。
Is it kind of boring though, hanging out here by myself?
働いている紡を見ているだけで満足だから。一応 暇つぶし用に勉強道具を持ってきたんだけど、紡ぐから目が離せないのよ。
All I'm doing is waiting tables, though.
私頑張っている紡ぐを見るのが好きなの。
It's kind of embarrassing when you say it like that. But since you came all the way here, I almost wish there was some sort of trouble to liven things
フ
up.
ァミレスのバイト中に事件なんて起きるの？居酒屋とかに比べて平和なイメージなんだけど。
That's not always the case. There was that one time a customer tried to dine and dash, had to be chased down and handed over to the police. Another time somebody messed up a customer's order and the guy got so pissed he threw a cup of water in his face.
紡ぐもその場にいたの？
Nah, those were both before I started working here. But apparently things like that used to happen here, even at this restaurant.
そうなんだ。でも私そういう修羅場は別に見たくないから、今の状態をキープしてもらって大丈夫よ。
Whoops. Seeing as Rinka genuinely seemed to be enjoying herself, I decided to get back to work. As I'd perform my duties, I'd glance over at her table every now and again to see how she was doing, and without fail, our eyes would meet every time. Apparently, she wasn't lying when she said she couldn't take her eyes off me. Jeez, Rinka, you must love me almost too much.
俺のキューピッドがポンコツすぎて怖い。
She's still staring into his soul. It's been about a month since Rinka signed on with that entertainment agency and began accepting auditions. Although it seemed her auditioners could often be quite critical of her performances, I was happy to hear that she was still having a very fulfilling time. Wondered how long it would be before Rinka began starring in her own dramas or movies. Couldn't wait for that to happen. I suppose it could also raise the chances of her parents finding out about her acting career, though. As I came home from work thinking about these things, Ale suddenly came running up to me in a panic. What? Huh? What are you talking about?
今日はこれからかりんちゃんの生配信がある予定だったじゃないですか。
Yeah, that's why I came home early today so I could catch it. Did it already start?
いえ、そうじゃなくて、先ほどかりんちゃんの SNS で突然諸事情により今夜の配信は中止しますっていうお知らせがあったんです。しかもしばらく活動をお休みします。次の配信日は未定ですとも書いてあって。
Here's the drama. Parents found out, apparently. Probably. Most likely. What? This what on earth happened? I think she'd stop streaming after only just signing on with that entertainment agency.
つむぐさん、事情を聞いていないんですか?
No, she hasn't told me a thing. No, she mentioned it. I sent her a message before work started, but she still hasn't replied to it yet. It wasn't anything important. I assumed she was just busy studying, but I didn't think much of it. But looked at my phone, and there still weren't any new messages. For the time being, I decided to send her a follow-up message asking her if something happened at work. Hopefully, I could find out what happened. An hour later, however, she still hadn't replied. The message hadn't even been marked read.
これは絶対におかしいです。電話をかけてみませんか?
Alright. Although I didn't want to bother Rinka, I made up my mind and called her anyway. But no matter how many times I let it ring, she didn't pick up. She's not answering.
何があったんでしょうか? 心配ですね。
Yeah. So the fact that she posted an update on her social media means that she has access to her phone at least. Guess there's nothing we can do but wait for her to contact us. Since tomorrow was a Sunday, I wouldn't be able to see her at school either. In the end, though, I didn't hear from Rinka that day, and so I spent the rest of the night tossing and turning restlessly in my sleep. They're not even saying the title of the game. This is serious. The next evening, Rinka still hadn't messaged me back. I'd constantly checked content social media for updates, but there were no signs of any updates. Nothing like this has ever happened since I first started following her. Could something have happened that she couldn't confide to anyone about, even to me, her boyfriend? Or perhaps...
つむぐさん、私もう我慢できません。リンカさんの家までひとっ飛びして様子を見てきます。
Don't you think that'd be an invasion of privacy?
何を言っているんですか。カリンちゃんがこんな状況で恋人と連絡が取れないんですよ。心配じゃないんです。
Of course I'm worried! If I could, I'd go over to her house right now to check up on her. However, my relationship with Rinka was supposed to be a secret from her parents. To show up at their doorstep asking about their daughter. That said, Rinka really did need my help right now. That would really happen while I was sitting here twiddling my thumbs. Okay, fine, you win, Love Meal. I want you to go fly over to Rinka's house and see how she's doing.
頼まれました。
She immediately opened the window and soared off. As I sat alone in my room waiting for her to come back, I continued clutching my phone in hopes that Rinka would respond. Rinka, please be safe.
ただいまです。
About 30 minutes, Love Meal returned. How'd it go?
すいません。結論から言うと、リンカさんとお会いすることはできませんでした。家の中への侵入を試みたんですが、セキュリティが強固だったため断念しました。私は天使で透明になったり空を飛べても、窓やドアからでないと中に入ることができません。漫画みたいな壁のすり抜け能力でもあればよかったんですが。
I see. I think his parents were the chairman of a large corporation, so it made sense that they had such strict security.
ただ、それでも家の周りを飛び回り、壁越しに家の中の会話を聞いたりして、情報収集をしてきました。とりあえず、リンカさんは無事のようなのですが、両親にスマホを取り上げられてしまって、部屋に閉じこもっているみたいです。
I see. At rate, I was simply glad to know that she hadn't been in an accident or hospitalized or anything.
一体、何があったんでしょうね。
Well, most likely the parents found out about either the acting gig or the VTubing. More likely the acting gig, honestly. Probably because they sent a mail or something about a fucking audition, most likely. If she'd had her phone taken away, it must mean that she'd gotten into some sort of trouble with her parents. In that case, I think we should try using the love note.
なるほど。コメントを見れば、リンカさんに何があったのかヒントがもらえるかもしれないですね。
Imagine if at this point they're like, write her name in the love note. They're like, okay, what do I have to do to help her? Come on, tell me. And it just says, give up. Her parents are too fucking stubborn. Okay, that's fucking rude, but come on, you need help here. Yeah, it's worth a shot. Retrieving the love note from inside my desk, I wrote down Rinka's name. After a few moments.
西条凛花、運命度80。あなたの出番。悩みを聞いてあげて。
Listen to her problems. The only reason I'm stumped here is because I can't do
大
that.
丈夫です。ラブノートにこう出たということは、近日中に悩みを聞くチャンスが訪れるということです。
See, and I should be able to talk to Rinka at school tomorrow, right?
おそらくそうです。
I hope you're right. If it might grow lighter thanks to the love note's words. The only thing I knew for sure was that something had happened to Rinka. But whatever problems she was facing, I'd be there to help her solve them. And you know how it is if she doesn't show up to school if she doesn't show up to school tomorrow, time to break into her house. That sounds terrible, but it's okay in this case. The next morning, upon arriving at school a little earlier than usual, I was relieved to see Rinka at her seat. Instead of studying like she usually was, however, she was slumped over, motionless on top of her desk. It was clear that something was troubling her. Naturally, I immediately called out to her. Morning, Saijo. The moment she heard my greeting, Rinka jumped in surprise. She raised her head and looked up at my face.
おはよう。
Her tone sounded uneasy. At a glance, her face was gaunt and her eyes were red and swollen. I hesitated for a moment, but decided to ask her what was wrong anyway. Listen. Before I could, Rinka stopped me and spoke in a low
ここ
whisper.
では話せないわ。昼休みになったら屋上で会いましょう。
Sensing that this wasn't a request, I simply nodded wordlessly. Too worried about Rinka, I wasn't able to focus during class all morning. After what felt like an eternity, lunchtime arrived at last, and I made my way to the rooftop.
紡ぐ。ずっと連絡できなくてごめんなさい。
Okay, so who's joining me in going to beat up her parents? What happened? Not only could I not reach you, but you also posted on your social media that you would be taking a break from streaming.
紡ぐ。私、幸せだった。
Huh? What do you...
失って初めて分かった。カリンとして活動していた時間は、とても尊いものだったの。それに、紡ぐのおかげで、短い時間だったけど、私は夢を追いかけることができた。私は本当の自分になれたし、とても幸せだった。でももう夢を見ていられる時間はおしまいみたい。
Large tears began to spill from her eyes. Rinka.
バーチャルアイドルの活動のことが親にバレてしまったの。
It was right after all what I'd feared had come to pass. But how?
少し前に進路調査票を提出したでしょ。私そこに今後のことを正直に書いたの。バーチャルアイドルの活動をしていることとか、大きい事務所にスカウトされたこととか。
I know this is supposed to be a very, like, touching and serious scene, but are you fucking stupid? Like, why would you write the shit you're trying to hide from your parents and to school on your fucking career survey sheet?
どうやらそれが学園長経由で親の手に渡ったみたいで、私の親はこの花学園に毎年多額の寄付をしているから変に気を使われたのかも。
That's ridiculous. Could he divorce something that important to your parents without your permission?
大事なことだからこそちゃんと親に伝えておいた方がいいと思ったのかもしれない。それに学園長はまさか私が内緒にしているとは思わなかったのかも。
I mean, that's still nothing. You really, like, go behind the parents to show them. Like, there's a reason why this kind of shit is just handed back to students. Like, yeah, go ahead and show your parents. I'm gonna need it with a signature afterwards. Still.
済んだことは仕方ないわよ。これは進路調査票にバカ正直に答えてしまった。
Like, as serious as this is supposed to be, yes, definitely, you were just... It is your mistake for being stupidly honest on that when you're trying to hide it. Like, I can't take this seriously that this is the conflict when she's the fucking party that is at fault for divulging the information. So I'm guessing your parents were against it?
今すぐ全ての活動をやめろって言われたわ。遊んでいる暇があるならもっと勉学に勤しめって。いい学校に進学して優秀な男と結婚し会社をさらに繁栄させろって言われた。それで配信することを禁じられてスマホもパソコンも全て取り上げられたの。なんとかカリンの SNS には活動休止のお知らせを書き込むことができたんだけど、このままじゃもう引退するしか。
Why, is there any way you can change your parents' minds?
それは無理よ。私の話なんか聞いてくれるわけがないもの。
Rinka's voice broke as even more tears streamed down her face. I could hardly stand to watch. It broke my heart.
私はもう諦めるしかないの。
Is that really okay with you, Rinka? Are you really okay with giving up everything? Are you going to give up all the hard work you've put into this just because your parents told you no?
なんでそんなことを聞くのよ。そんなの嫌に決まってるじゃない。せっかく好きなことができるようになったのに、ようやく挑戦してみようって思えるようになったのに悔しいわよ。本当は諦めたくない。
Then
私にとって両親の言うことは絶対だから、病弱だった私をこれまでしっかりと育ててくれた恩もあるし。
what about us? Parents told you to marry someone respectable and carry on the family business, right? If they told you to split up with me, would you do it? Would you really break up with me that easily?
紡ぐ、やめてよ、そんなこと言われたって。私はどうしたらいいのか。
Rinka trembled from head to toe. I'm sorry, but I don't want to break up with you, Rinka. What I want is to help you achieve whatever it is you want. That's why I'd like you to let me meet your parents. I want you to let me help you change their minds.
気持ちは嬉しいけど、そんなの無理よ。
Please, I have to do this for your sake. If I don't do anything, I know I'll end up regretting it. Whatever the outcome, it's still 100 times better than standing by and doing nothing.
紡ぐ、わかった。紡ぐが両親と会う方法をなんとか考えてみる。
Really forgot to take a screenshot during that. So that's what happened. Hold on, let me like save here real quick and like just go back to when it's still like zoomed out. That's not when it's zoomed out. This is when it's zoomed out. Just like fucking screenshot. Load. That evening I explained to Ale everything that Rinka told me. After I finished, her eyes sparkled.
さすが紡ぐさんです。リンカさんのためにビシッと言ってやるんですね。
Maybe.
それでリンカさんの両親をどうやって説得するかは考えているんですか？
I haven't figured that part out yet. I'm open to suggestions though.
後先を考えずに大見えを切ったんですね。
What was that supposed to do? That was all I could say to cheer her up. Besides, how can I know how to convince Rinka's parents when I've never even met them?
それもそうですね。それにこういう時のためのラブノートですし。
Alright, let's see what it has to say. Pulling out the love note from my desk, I wrote down Rinka's name.
西条凛花、運命度80、説得の手伝いをすること。
Well, fucking thanks for nothing!
運命度は変化なしですね。そしてコメントが説得の手伝いをすることですか。説得のヒントは得られませんでしたね。
Still, if our faintnesses hasn't changed, at the very least that means I'm not doing the wrong thing, right?
確かにそうです。紡さん、前向きですね。
Not after come this far, I've just got to rise to the occasion. I'll find a way to persuade Rinka's parents, even if it's the last thing I do.
その意気ですよ。かりんちゃんのファンとして私からもお願いします。絶対にリンカさんの活動を認めさせてください。
Wait, aren't you supposed to be more concerned about our relationship? Some angel of love you are.
俺のキューピッドがポンコツすぎて怖い。
Oh hey, they say the title again. Next weekend, Rinka and I stood together at the entrance of her family home. Unfortunately, it seemed like she hadn't been able to get her parents to make time to speak with me. So, we had no other choice but to lie in wait for them. This just makes it sound like he's just hiding behind a fucking lamppost waiting for one of them to pass. It just grabs them by the neck. So I already read that. Apparently her parents had gone out to see a movie together today, and our plan was to confront them when they returned home and force them to talk with us. After we'd been waiting anxiously for a while, Rinka pointed into the distance and murmured quietly. The car she pointed at gradually grew closer. Eventually, it came to a stop at the front gate where we were standing. Shortly after, the driver's side opened, and an intimidating-looking man stepped out, eyeing me with an appraising look. Before he could speak, however, I quickly lowered my head in greeting. It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Tsumugu Sakuma. I'm currently dating your daughter, Rinka. I'm here today because I have something I'd like to discuss with you and your wife. Would it be possible for you to spare a moment of your time to speak with me today?
礼儀を知らないガキだな。
Rinka's father nearly spat those words at
リ
me.
ンカと付き合っているだと？そんなことは認めない。今すぐ別れなさい。
His reaction was even more hostile than I'd expected. Suppose I don't blame him for being gruff when suddenly confronted by someone claiming to be his daughter's boyfriend, but still. Suddenly, however, the door to the car side opened and out stepped a woman I could only assume was Rinka's
まあ
mother.
まあお父さん、今日は大した用事もないのだし、話くらいなら聞いてあげたらいいんじゃないの？
Rinka's mother did her best to soothe her husband with a gentle tone, so I was permitted to enter the Saijo residence. Oh, this is actually a better CG. After being led into a lavish guest parlor, I sat myself down on the sofa next to Rinka, and began speaking directly to her father. I'm here to beg you to not take away Rinka's dreams. She's inspired hundreds, if not thousands of people out there through her activities as a virtual idol. No, because I was one of those people as well. About a year ago, when I got injured and had to quit my after-school club, Rinka's streams were what made me smile and kept me going. Without her, I might never have gotten back to my feet even now. That's why.
くだらないな。確かに君は娘のくだらないバーチャルアイドルとやらの活動がきっかけで立ち直ったのかもしれない。しかし、それが娘である必要はあったのか？バーチャルアイドルというのは他にもたくさんいるのだろう。娘がいなくたって代わりはいくらでもいるじゃないか。
You're wrong, sir. It had to be her. I'll prove it. From a bag, I took out a stack of A4-sized paper. It was a compilation of all the comments I could find from viewers who were worried about Cutten's sudden hiatus. You see how many people are hoping for Rinka's return? I had out the stack of papers to her father, but he merely glanced at it, making no move to accept it. Nevertheless, I remained undaunted. To every single one of her fans, me included, Rinka's irreplaceable. There isn't anyone who could take her place.
いいだろう。現時点で娘が何人かの人間に必要とされていることは認めよう。だが、バーチャルアイドルは月にいくら稼げるんだ？
それは違うわ、お父さん。私はお金が欲しくてやっているんじゃないの。私を必要としてくれる人がいることが嬉しくてやっているの。
では質問を変えよう。その人気は何年続くんだ？5年か10年か？他にもっと優秀なバーチャルアイドルが出てきたら見向きもされなくなるんじゃないのか？
Clearly you underestimate how fucking fervent people can get.
お前がおばさんになってもそのファンとやらはお前を応援し続けてくれるのか？
それはわからない。でも私が必要とされている間は視聴者の声に応え続けたいの。
はっきり言おう。そんなのは時間の無駄だ。一時の感情に流されるな。しっかり将来を見据えろ。数年後、お前が誰からも必要とされなくなった時、お前の手の中には何も残らない。人生は短いんだ。もっと役立つことに時間を使え。私の娘として生まれたからには、お前は優秀な人間に成長し、会社を継いでもらわないと困る。バーチャルアイドルや役者などという成功率が低い上に旬の短い活動をしている余裕などない。
お父さん、なんで分かってくれないの？
私は現実的な話をしているんだ。これ以上は時間の無駄だ。君は帰りなさい。
Rinka's father scowled, dismissing me coldly. Nah, this wasn't a waste of time. After listening to everything you've said, so I finally understand. The truth is, you care about Rinka very deeply. Because you care for her so much, you don't want her attempting anything that's doomed to fail. You simply want her to walk the safest path forward. Because you care about her so much, you're against the idea of her dating some nobody like me who comes from God knows where. I get that. Even so, I want Rinka to continue pursuing her dreams. Because walking the safest path won't necessarily lead to her happiness.
知った風な口を叩くな。それでもし娘が失敗したら、どう責任を取ると言うんだ。
If that happened, I'd provide for her for the rest of my life.
何を言い出す？私が認めるくらい優秀な男でなければ、娘と結婚させるつもりはない。
Then I'll work as hard as it takes to become the sort of man you do approve of. I'll even take over the company in Rinka stead and expand it like nobody else.
口では何とでも言える。
あら、私は見どころがあると思うわよ。
All of a sudden, Rinka's mother spoke up.
私、人間を見る目には自信があるの。さすがリンカが見初めた相手だわ。
Like both of them are just like, what the fuck, the mom's supporting me here. Why is the mom being a wingman? I'm kind of confused. I'm scared.
くだらないことを言うな。
Huh, so that's how you talk to your wife, huh? Maybe you do need to get the beating iron.
でもこれだけ言っているのだからリンカとの交際を認めるかどうかを審査してあげるべきだと思うわ。もしかしたら口だけじゃなく本物の金の卵かもしれないんだから。
Evaluation.
ええ、やる気はあるかしら。
Absolutely, I'd be happy to give it a shot.
気持ちがいい返事をする子ね。ますます気に入ったわ。でもどんな審査にしようかしらね。合否をフィーリングで決めると落とされた時に納得できないだろうから数値化できる審査にした方がいいわよね。そうだわ、模試がいいんじゃないかしら。確かリンカが通っている塾の模試って事前に申請しておけば部外者でも受けられるのよね。それじゃあ次の模擬試験で志望校を偏差値65以上の学校にして A 判定を取りなさい。
ちょっとお母さん、さすがにそれは。
そんなにひどい条件じゃないと思うわよ。だって成功すれば将来的にリンカとの結婚が約束されてうちの会社の社長になることも約束されるのよ。そう考えればたやすい条件だと思わない？お父さんどう？もし A 判定を取れたら口先だけの男じゃないって認めるわよね。
その条件であればいいだろう。
ほらお父さんも納得してくれたわ。佐久間紡さんだったわよね。どうする？この条件を飲む？それとも尻尾を巻いて逃げ出す？
Earlier, I was under the impression that Rinka's mother was a surprisingly gentle, mild-mannered individual, but I was wrong. This woman was even more ruthless than her husband. I knew that she knew that if they'd simply driven me away, Rinka would refuse to swallow it and continue to rebel against them. But by setting an impossible condition for me to fulfill, Rinka would have no choice but to accept the outcome if I failed. Plus, I'd already agreed to let them evaluate me. I couldn't go back on my word now just because it seemed hopeless. But this wasn't the time to get cold feet. This was my best chance at helping Rinka. I really did manage to get a nail in the exam. All of her wishes would come true. Besides, I didn't want to have to break up with Rinka because of this. In that case, there was no way I could back down. Understood, I accept your terms. Hearing my response, Rinka's mother smiled in
やっ
satisfaction.
ぱり気持ちがいい子ね。応援しているから頑張りなさいね。
What have I gotten myself into? Once I returned home and explained everything that happened to Ale, it hung my head, realizing once again just how reckless the deal I'd made was.
よくわからないんですけど、その A 判定を取るっていうのはそんなに難しいんですか？
Well, it's pretty much impossible for someone with with my grades at the moment. You'd have to be among the top students in the country to even attempt it.
ダメじゃないですか。
I mean, I've got no choice but to try my best. There's no other option. Unless there's something you and the big man upstairs can do with your angel powers.
正直不可能ではないと思います。ですが、私は紡さんにそんな真似をしてほしくありません。今回の条件をクリアしたら、実質リンカさんとの結婚が認められるわけでしょ？なのに、ずるい方法でリンカさんとの運命度を上げてしまったら、紡さんは胸を張って生きていけなくなる気がするんです。
Yes, can't deny that. Besides, I had no intention of doing anything like that in the first
紡
place.
さんは自分の力でリンカさんとの未来をつかみ取るべきだと思います。おそらくラブノートも同じ答えを返すと思います。試しに名前を書いてみたらどうでしょうか。
He writes down her name and the thumbnail is like, Fatedus, 99%. Just call the Archangel. That's enough for that last 1%. Alright. Taking out the living note from my desk, I write down Rinka's name as usual.
西条凛花運命度96
96 not 99.
必死に勉強して A 判定を取ること。
I think this is almost up to 100 now, huh?
A 判定を取れば100に到達すると思いますよ。
You could argue the fact that it's like only 6 points from 100 that he's got a good chance, because if getting that A was such a monstrous task, the gap would probably be bigger.
つむぐさん、頑張ってください。私にできることなら精一杯お手伝いいたしますので。
Alright. Looks like I've only got one choice. Thanks to the love note, I no longer felt the need to look for another way out. With my current grades, I knew I'd only be getting an E on the exam at most. But no matter how hopeless it seemed, I'd do everything I possibly could for Rinka.
俺のキューピッドがポンコツすぎて怖い。
Why? I don't know why I did that. I'm ended here.
セーブ完了ですよ。
We'll play some more in my own time. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, so I'll see you next time. Bye bye.